Hello, welcome back. It's Christians in Politics once again. And I remain yours, William C. Loho, right here on RTM, the only station that gives you the best of the best. The one place where you get both faith and entertainment and education fused together in one place. Now, I am also here this morning, or rather today, to share with you, continuing from where we stopped last week. We had in the house last week a man of God indeed, and a seasoned business personality, the MD CEO, King's Post, Nigeria. He is no other than Mr. Agboola, Kayode, Babatunde. Welcome back again to join us this week, sir.
Williams, it's nice being with you again this week.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Yeah, last week you gave us a little bit discussions around politics and policies and all of that. It was really far-reaching, and I want us to start off this week with a connection from last week, and I'm going to be asking you something a little bit personal, sir.
All right.
Are you in any political party, sir?
Not really. Not really.
Okay. If I'm not, then why not, sir?
All right. I think it is in the recent time that
Right.
I am convinced that I have to be involved in politics, but I've still not made up my mind. Basically, I used to have this mindset that politics is dirty, and as a man of God, I shouldn't be involved. Because scripture says, what shall it profit a man if he gains this whole world and loses his own soul? I want to tell you, Williams, 200 years to this time, nobody on earth will be here.
Sure.
Everyone would have gone, including the child that was born today. So, and 200 years is just a drop of weather compared to eternity. It doesn't worth it. I'm not going to risk my eternity for just a transient time on earth. Yeah. So I felt, no, it doesn't worth it. But recently, with our daddy, the general overseer of Redeemed Christian Church of God, talking to us about the importance of also being part of leadership in this country, so that godly men can also govern the land and bring the desired purpose of God to pass. I had a change of mind. But I'm still looking and watching to decide which of the political parties I will join.
While you watch and decide, sir, permit me to press in a little bit on that, because it's a topic that it's been a concern in the Christian body. Before Adade came up to mention, or maybe before you saw whatever it is you're seeing that is making you okay, and realign. You've been in business, sir.
Yeah.
The little business I've been able to be involved, at least at the local level.
Yeah.
I've also have seen people do very dirty stores. I've seen powers traded. Even for those who don't have a shop, who have just small stool or maybe small kiosk, not even a kiosk, just small table in front of them, and then there's a partner, and then you see people doing some kind of juju, as they call it in Africa, voodoo or whatever, to harm or to attract customers to themselves, or to do...
Or even to change the customers that are coming.
Yes.
They are selling fish, they cut half into the bag.
Good.
And then
it's, you price a whole fish now, and then they tell you it's 500. You say no, 450. They say they allow you, as soon as you want to go, they cut it off, and then they cut the rest quickly and put.
Yeah.
And people do all manner of crazy things. I'm talking about local now.
Correct.
That is still what applies in politics. Why then was it difficult for the church to also see that the same thing that applies in the marketplace, which you obviously have survived, is possible, or is also possible to survive in the political arena, because it's almost still the same thing?
Yeah.
In my view.
The truth is that before now,
Yeah.
our religious mindset you know, made us to know that if you go into politics, you are a sinner. So, but right now, the perception is changing. And we know now that you can't just leave the leadership for just anybody and then sit back and be complaining.
Because eventually it still comes back to you one way or the other.
So you have no legal ground to complain if you are not involved in politics and leaders are elected, you are not participating, you are not playing your role. So
before we get back to the business or economy aspect, let me also quickly ask this. Okay, while you're still deciding, should an opportunity opens up and then maybe a government is saying, okay, we need somebody to work with us in one area or the other, would you consider being available for that should you be called upon?
Oh yes, with my passion and vision for Nigeria, I'm a very passionate Nigerian. I mean, I this is my home country, and I am looking at making Nigeria better than US. Because I said to myself, why is everybody rushing to go to US? Why is everybody rushing to go to Canada? Why is everybody rushing to go to economic? Why can't we make Nigeria better than those places we're running to? We have all the resources. We have the wealth. We have the market. We have everything going. So if I have the slightest opportunity to change the narrative of Nigeria, Williams, I will.
That's something inspiring. And you've talked about having resources. I've always wondered, maybe that will border on a bit on the taxation a little bit, because I remember in the Bible when Saul was about to be anointed, when the people asked for a king like other nations, one of the things God told them through Samuel was that he's going to take your daughters, he's going to take your sons, he's going to take your lands, he's going to take your animals, he's going to take your harvests. Now, you've also painted the tax policy in good light, as far as I'm concerned now. But is that the only way to building or boosting this economy? Because each time a government, citing even from the Bible, a government, a leadership comes to power and is more focused on taking from the people, which obviously will be taxed now, than finding alternative ways to build the economy, it usually eventually means that government either is not in favor of the people or is not taking the options, all options or most of the options available to him. In the Nigerian context, do you think there are better ways we can actually really build our economy without having to mount taxes?
Oh yes. Yes, tax is also one of the means of generating revenue for the land, but it's not the only option, and it shouldn't be. People should not be taxed beyond what they can bear. When I spoke about the government tax policy, I'm talking about the tax reform bill proposal.
Yes.
That is currently being put forward. Right. They have not even passed
implemented
them. Yes. So, and looking at it, I saw some reasonable
hopes.
Yeah, and I have to be very, very sincere. I saw something good. I'm this kind of person. Even if I don't like your face,
right?
If you are doing something
that is good,
I'll say good. And if you are doing something that is not good, I say this is not good. So I looked at that and I said, okay, this is making sense. You are reducing tax. You are also you are. Some people are going to be on zero tax.
Right.
People that are earning, from 800,000 below, they will not be taxed and all of that. I saw that in the reform bill. I feel, okay, this makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. So, but I haven't said that tax is not the only means by which you can. I think anyone that is hammering on tax is just looking for ways of least resistance to solve problem. If you want to solve problem and you want the problem solving to be sustainable, right? You don't look for the path of least resistance. You look for holistic and far-reaching and solution. And there are a couple of solutions that I believe that government can, and also Christians can also embark on, believers. Yes, some believers feel, oh, with the current economy, there's nothing I can achieve. No, you are not right. There are lots you can achieve. The Bible actually says, when men says there is casting down, we should say there's lifting up.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you a question here. Have you had a cause to take a loan in this country, even if it's for business or maybe other matters?
Yes, I must confess to you, we have cause to access loan from BOI, Bank of Industry, and that was in 2013. We accessed $1 million then, and but in equipment. Okay. Now, I must also add that process was so transparent,
right,
and then was without what we call Nigerian factor.
Exactly.
We didn't pay anybody a dime, contrary to the notion out there. You see, believers also have to trust God. That the Bible says God envelope the righteous with favor like a shield.
Right.
You have to, have faith in God and not faith in the leg of man. If I tell you the story, you will know that it's the finger of God. So we were able to access $1 million in equipment, and that's what enabled us from BOI. I must confess here, BOI is doing a lot, and if they are doing it well, they have empowered a lot of businesses, and they are really contributing to economic growth in this country. I'm not saying that to hype them. Yeah. I'm saying that from my experience. We did not know anybody. We did not pay anybody a dime. We went in there, presented what we were doing, and he said, "You mean you are doing this in this country? You are the man we're looking for." And they availed us the fund.
It's all right. What that speak to is the fact that you had something credible running. And then also, one of the questions I would have loved to ask, had you not expressed it that much, I wanted to ask, what was the process like? Was there transparency? But from you saying you didn't give any, as they call it in Nigeria, matching ground to anybody, then it means it was a bit transparent. How about pressure for payment and then the interest rates? What was it like in your experience? Fantastic.
BOI's interest rate is single digit, very, very manufacturing friendly, and you can access it. Anybody can access it. The challenge we have is that a lot of people have businesses that are not bankable.
Okay.
And then there's another challenge. The challenge with BOI fund is the bank guarantee, which you present as collateral. Most banks, commercial banks now, are shying away because they carry all the risk. They are the one that will issue the bank guarantee that in case of default will pay back. And unfortunately, because of business dynamics, some businesses are not able to pay back on time. But BOI do not just provide funds, they also provide business solution.
Okay.
In that when they sit down with you, try to understand what is the problem, and then if they need to
give you some guidance,
they do. And if they need to restructure, they restructure. They just want the business to thrive. They don't want the business to die.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one financial institution that is doing very well.
Because even some of the commercial banks, allegations have been, even though the system has not looked into that sometimes you take a loan and then you pay more than was stipulated. Sometimes there are hidden charges, what they call it, some other terms and conditions that were not clearly stated. And then when you get in, sometimes you don't even get to know until when you are almost paying out. You say, okay, I have maybe 2 installments or 3 installments to pay. And then you now say, okay, remaining my last, and then they tell you, no, you still have this one, that one. Then you're not asking what they said, then there was this one, signature here, one thing there, the other one that was part of the. But how come you never mentioned this? The calculation we had was this amount at this time, and I have been faithful. And people have been cheated, which is one of the reasons why Nigerians, businessmen, most times don't want to go into the loan. And I said that to bring us to the point of the new government initiative for student loan. Again, permit me to cite the permit me to say the non-business loan. The experience of anyone who has taken loan in any of these microfinance or these online bankings, I know maybe you may have received SMS stating that so person is a criminal, is this not to be, this from one of those loan shark. They have a way of taking your contacts and then blacklisting you before everybody on your contacts. For sometimes you ask, okay, when they call you and then you ask, okay, how much did this person take? 50,000, 100,000, and then you go and send this kind of SMS. Meanwhile, people are owing 50 million, and then the business, the guarantor or the creditor is even trying to help them out to pay. And somebody is owing 50,000 naira, and then you are sending this kind of SMS to everybody, sometimes even posting on social media.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if the government, if our leaders cannot checkmate most of these systems that are owned by foreigners, coming to bastardize our image on this kind of platform, then should we now trust these same leaders to be able to give us a student loan? Will it not be like an enslavement?
Okay, let me. I'm going to address a lot of issues regarding facility,
right?
Assessing fund, because one, I must tell our viewers that if you are going to thrive in business, access to finance is key. Yeah, but if you are also going to assess finance, you must be a person of integrity.
Right.
Your reputation must be intact. And let me, for one, this is not the era where you can borrow money and not pay back.
Sure.
The era of borrowing money and not pay back is gone because there's credit bureau.
Right.
Credit bureau will register you, is CBN regulated. All banks, all financial institutions, whether online or on site, whatever, you must register whatever loan
you're taking.
Yeah, exactly. So if you collect loan and you are not paying back, as it is in this country, you'll not be able to access loan again. So, and that's, I want to tell you, when you access loan and you pay back, you even have more access to bigger loan. So, accessing fund and not paying back, it's not good for business. Our people should start changing their mind. Don't go and collect money with the mindset that you are not going to pay back. No. We understand if there are challenges because of business dynamics and all of that. We understand that. But go with the mind that you want to pay back. And if that's your focus, you will surely pay back. Even with the challenges, you overcome it and pay back. Yeah. And the only thing I will also ask the financial institutions and Nigerian governments that when people are having difficult and online platforms, when people are having difficulty in paying back, don't just start blackmailing them. We have seen cases where someone was almost going to hang himself. In fact, cases where somebody killed himself, committed suicide because he was owing somebody. So that's not the way to go. It's not to blackmail, it's to call this person to the table and then engage the person, sit down, and then look at means and ways out of his difficulty and how he can pay back. And there will always be solution. There's solution to every problem under the sun. Yeah. So I don't think the current government aim of providing student loan is to actually blackmail them. No, I don't think so. I think that they are also trying to, show to the youth that, okay, we have you in mind. Okay, we are going to make policy that will support your vision, support your aspiration, and help you to achieve your potential. But the reason why they are doing that, it's the agenda behind that is what
that's
I cannot
the point.
say.
That's the point, because on the surface it looked like a good idea. Well, the context in which we find ourselves has not been that favorable. Educational costs still on the rising, and even when it was not on the rising, it was difficult for some families to be able to send their wards into school. So that looked on the outside like a good policy, but sometimes these questions need to be asked, because now we don't know who is going to be managing that system. I say this because I'm a son of a civil servant, and I know what used to happen when they take loans. And then it started with, when we were very small, there were bicycle for lower cadre, machine for middle, and then for those who were a bit upper, cars, and then the categorization went up. And all of that too, the system had not always been, even before these online banks, the system had not always been many a times transparent when it comes to loan. So I'm looking at it, okay, now if you go take a loan as a student, then it means your entire life you're going to be dancing, you may likely going to be dancing to some person's tune. Okay. 1, 2. Aside that, looking at the way projects have been handled before now, I'm trusting that this administration will step up, and that's why we're having this conversation, so they can, look at some of the things that have transpired and build from that. Before now, also, projects will be awarded, and then before it gets to the contractor, so much has happened in between the line, and then before you know what's going on, the project either maybe would be left halfway. Yeah. The current Minister of Work even had some challenge with some contractors. I can't remember. I don't want to go into that details now. A state where he was on the road. You see, on the road that was being constructed, and then he asked the contractor. This was what is on paper that was submitted to me as the Minister of Works, that this project has been done so kilometers, this road has been constructed up to so kilometers, and now you are expecting so amount. You get the point. Now we are here on the streets. This kilometer has not been covered, so I'm giving you between this time to either bring this road to this figure or this distance, or risk losing the entire contract.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Still, it's just like the politicians too. Yeah. Coming in to offer stomach infrastructure for voters, and then the voters also blindly and ignorantly, sell off that. These contractors, someone will say, okay, I'll get you this contract, but this is my percentage. Maybe yanking off almost 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
There are middlemen between the contractor and the government. And all these middlemen are collecting their own kickbacks. And that's what is affecting our infrastructure across board, our project across board. So corruption is still a major problem.
Let's just move away from that a little bit. We may do that some other time. But speaking to being a manufacturer, sir, in the Nigerian field of play, what has it really been for you?
Well, it's been tough. It's been challenging. I wouldn't say problematic, because I don't have the mindset of problem. Right. I have the mindset of challenge. Why do I say that? Every crisis comes with opportunities. Opportunities, not even one.
Right.
Now, necessity is the mother of invention. Whenever you see crisis like the current economic situation,
Right.
just be on the lookout for opportunities, because there are opportunities in it. So there have been a lot of challenges ranging from inflation, infrastructure, high cost of energy, high interest rates, so many. You have the challenge of the material price have tripled. There are contracts you got maybe 2 years ago, the client is not ready, and now that the client is ready, the money has paid, maybe has paid like 60%, you are actually going to spend 3 times of that money to complete the project now. So, because of inflation and because of also hike in foreign exchange, just turn and economic policy somersault and what have you, increase in port charges, so the challenges are overwhelming. That's true for manufacturer. Good percentage of members of Manufacturing Association of Nigeria shut down last year because of economic challenges. I am a member. So, and listen, you need industrialization to grow your economy. You cannot grow this economy without industrialization. You need manufacturing sector to actually grow the economy.
And that also will border on the fact that, which we were trying to talk about taxation earlier. There are other ways, maybe subtle ways, the system has played out that has become heavy on the people. And talking about port charges, I don't know, even the common bike, Okada, like they call it, when you hear how much is being cleared at the ports, it becomes difficult. And in fact, the clearing cost now is even more than what it used to cost to buy the entire after delivery in the country.
Absolutely.
So that also had given rise to so many hardship. But for want of time, I'd like for you to speak to the fact that I look around the world, most countries that have evolved from maybe developing into an advanced country or advanced economy, did not get there by putting pressure from already small this thing and taking into the coffers of the system. But they have done that by empowering, making platforms for people. China is one of those.
Correct.
Exporting today, they are having trade war with America. Why? Because they are dominating the market space.
Correct.
They are not
That's the manufacturing hub of the whole world.
They are not looking at other countries trying to build military weapon or show that we are here. No, you keep building your military antagonistic weapons.
Yeah.
We will take the economy. We will provide what the people need. And today they are everywhere. Look at India.
Even though they are also building up their military base.
Definitely, it's an over. Yeah. Once you have manufacturing, there are other benefits
of course.
Attached to it, and that becomes like a fall off, not like your main point.
Yeah.
Look at India. Permit me to even mention Malaysia, that took their genesis from Nigeria.
Yeah.
They didn't go into, Dubai, for example, is an excellent, and Nigerians, even the top class, like to go to Dubai to enjoy whatever it is they call life.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, when you go to that country and you sit down and you enjoy what they do, doesn't your conscience prick you that these people don't produce the gold? These people don't produce most of the things they have. They've just prepared a market, and they made it easy for their people to be able to set up systems that run these businesses. And there, today Dubai is world class.
Yeah.
So why is it difficult for African leaders when they go to this place, even on public fund, to be able to want to learn what is
even
working.
be inspired.
Yes, to learn what is working.
Yeah.
I asked myself, why is it that difficult, sir? Is there anything you can say to that in a few minutes?
The first time I got to China to,
Right.
bring in our equipment, when I got there, I was like, China. If now China is like this, then our leaders, I was really angry at our leaders. And you guys, you come here, you see this, and you cannot transform your home country to what you are saying. This is ordinary China. So I understand your feeling. It boils down to what we said the last time. There's no national interest. What we have is personal interest.
It is well. For want of time, we'll still have to call it a wrap today. It's been wonderful having a chat with you. Maybe when time permits us again, please, in your tight schedule, find a way to factor us in soon as we may come back anytime again to need your presence. So thank you very much for coming on the show and for sharing your wonderful thoughts and experience. It's been a blessing unto us.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, there you have it. It's another wrap again on Christians in Politics today. Today we've had a wonderful insight, and I encourage you, please, if you've not been following us, follow us on our social media handles, on YouTube, on all platforms, because you get to watch what has been aired again and again. Be a part of our community. Leave us your comment, because sometimes you never can tell. That will form a basis for next episode and next content. Once again, I remain yours, William Stiloho, signing out on Christian.